Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Fata Morgana playthrough. Now today we are going to be looking into what has been laid out for us in not only the den but also the cellar, because yeah, for some reason Morgana, what she has done is she's made it so that we have to collect 3 keys, and we've got the first key from Mel in a really quite easy effort, but he has implied, and I definitely agree with his implication, that Yukimasa and Jacopo are not going to be so friendly, because firstly they're probably going to be driven mad. I mean, Yukimasa is already mad, so I don't want to know how bad he will be. But Jacopo as well, he's definitely somebody who has potential to make Michelle's life very, very difficult. Michelle was doing anything to get to the observation tower so that he can save Gazelle. Can I just mention this music is really, really good that's playing. Let's go. Go downstairs to the cellar. So we're going to go in order, and then we're going to see what happens if we don't go in order. Let's just get a bit of context firstly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. The sister, tell my sister that, wait. Yeah. And it is interesting that there's a possibility of maybe seeing her. The fact that something as absurd as that is not impossible. God, it must be so disturbing seeing just like a silhouette of Mel and seeing him completely cursing everything in such weird scenery as well. It's so fun to imagine everything. It really is. And if I'm going to be honest, I think I've really got to do that more. Just picture everything in my head and just make some really, really cool images. Yeah, totally. Yeah. What would have happened? Yeah, isn't it funny that that's something quite mysterious that he just left, that he just leaves completely unanswered. Yeah, I do too. Very, very unusual rose garden, and it really just feels like everything is deliberately being made to feel as terrifying as possible. Like, for example, in the rose garden, all of those really razor sharp thorns made of iron. I mean, my god, if you want to escape something like that, I wish you luck. This is going to be exciting. Yeah. And what I find so weird about that is the fact that the smell of blood was suffocating hundreds of years later. I mean, did it really never go? Is there that... I mean, it is the cellar, so it wouldn't be surprising if there was a lack of ventilation. But at the same time, surely you would have thought that Jacopo being in the house would mean something was done about it? Or maybe that's just something for the servants. Something where people just, I don't know, that's what they'd think. And they just don't care about it because, I don't know. No, what I'm trying to say is they wouldn't clean it because nobody who is going to make nobody who is going to impress rich men who could mean business is going to go down the cellar. Only the servants will. That's what I was trying to say. Saves a cost. I don't know. I know, it's really weird. Yeah, it's just everywhere, so you are so used to that disgusting and revolting smell. What? Really? You being serious? You're in the cellar though, what? Oh my god. Wow. That was not what I was expecting. Yeah, and isn't it interesting that the game is still doing its best to portray Yukimasa as somebody who is quite literally a beast. And it is interesting, that. My god. This is Yukimasa's spirit, I'd assume. God. We can see he is already less friendly than Mel. And the Shade also has enough physical strength to somehow hold a blade and put it at Michelle's neck. Oh wait. So, mere inches from his face. So I'd assume it could be on his... I'd assume that that means the blade would just be on his chin, pointing up towards it. Why does he want to see it, though? So he recognises it. Interesting. To be honest, my screen isn't really bright enough to tell whose shadow this is. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, Yukimasa was from Japan as well. Oh, I get it. Who are you and how do you know so much about who I used to be? Not even who I am now, who I used to be. But the only thing is, why are these people that have... Why are these beings former people who have reincarnated, who don't even get to have form? And yet Michelle can just casually have his human form. It is interesting. And I do wonder, I just wonder why they don't get any form and yet people like Michelle do. Oh, okay. True. Don't tempt fate. Yeah, don't tempt fate! Well, he's being very direct. Yeah. Why is everybody being so cooperative? I don't understand. I know, me neither. This just feels oddly easy. But it is interesting to think about the fact that Mel, when killed, is somebody who has just been living, who is continuing to exist in regret. Yet Yukimasa, at the same time, he's somehow become human. He feels totally different to how he was before. Or maybe we don't know everything about what's going to happen with him. No, me neither, especially because Mel was saying that there was going to possibly be a little bit more indication of resistance. I don't understand that either. Yeah, I know, it's odd. So why doesn't he have any will? Why doesn't he have any reason? Morgana has literally told these people to guard the key with the most willpower they possibly can. I just don't understand why everybody is not willing to do so. That's unusual. He doesn't know either. He barely knows. Nobody knows. Does Morgana even know? Well, oh, shit. Yeah, so I suppose he doesn't really feel any value in life just because of the fact that he is living in constant fear. Just fear of the unknown and fear of a lack of ability to reason his surroundings. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. He's so rude. That's hilarious. Yeah. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just, that is the last thing I was expecting him to say. But, yeah, he's very, very disturbed. I don't blame. I mean, I suppose he's being a bit rude, but at the same time, it's not surprising that he's being rude. This just feels oddly easy. It really does. Seriously, I did not expect it to be that free of difficulty. Hang on a second, I remember this part having blood before. Do we have... Oh, brilliant. Look, we've got a save. Oh my god, I never realised... Oh, fuck's sake. So that's why my saves disappeared, because I was on the second bud. Rather than this... Oh my god, I'm fucking stupid. Jesus, that's just painful. It's just painful. Yep, Gazelle's 30. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to skip through and oh my god, that was hilarious seeing. Yeah, I liked everything yesterday. It was really quite nice characterization. Oh my god, the painting guy being totally mad. Oh no. No, I swear we saw that background completely covered in blood. I don't know where I was seeing that. Oh, it's not really. Oh my god, I know. Yeah, fair enough. It just feels way too easy. I mean, Mel really gave us a false promise. Maybe the last time Mel has seen these people was when they would guard these at any costs. But it's interesting that there's an indication of the fact that they've been here a long time. And it's odd because we haven't been here for very long. If anything, it's as if we've kind of jumped time. Jumped in time, even. Yeah. I know, I totally agree. It's so weird. Yeah. I remember that, the 3 Wickermen, yeah. I mean, Yukimasa are understandable, but... Actually, hang on a second. How do we actually know that this person is Yukimasa? The silhouette doesn't look too similar. And we aren't actually told that his name is Yukimasa, but I would assume it is. But at the same time, though, the fact that he's not murdering, that feels a bit odd. I wonder if these could be different people. Yeah, how awful is said awful thing then if somebody like her can get annoyed? But surely Morgana is a massive sadist, so she would enjoy stuff like this, so it's kind of surprising that she is doing this. There's a lot of mystery. Oh my god, he's from 1099, remember that. Yeah, good question. I've never played pool myself. I've just never had the opportunity. I just don't socialise with many people. Maybe I will in the future, who knows? It's kind of hard to tell. To the den. Wait, the den? What was it called? Hang on. Wait, what's A? How's that autosave? Yeah. Shit. Is it the den? Yeah, the den. Yeah, I know, that's the exciting part. Who knows? Here we go. God, these colours are... I'm sorry, but these colours are amazing. Seriously, these are just... It just looks fabulous. This blue, especially. That's my favourite. And the white, actually. I just love how they contrast dark with light here, and they do it so well. They just really, really make it a classic mansion setting. What? What? That was not what I was expecting. You've got to be kidding me. So Gazelle has a key? Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you can't. It's the last thing you would have expected. So, of course, you would never ask why. You would just look at what's happened before even questioning anything. Yeah, oh my god. I remember the scene where there was it was kind of as if there was a ghost in the billiards table and the balls were just clanging by themselves when Michelle had let go of the maid's hand and was exploring the mansion by herself and saw the painting, ironically. Is this going to be the Gazelle you know? Just Gazelle. Yeah, you're doing anything for her. Oh god. Oh my god! God. What a change. is this gazelle we know? I don't think it will be. I think it's a total mockery. Oh God. Gazelle is not the person that exists anymore. It's the maid. This is just a total mockery, and you can totally tell that Morgana is just playing a game here, just trying to make Michelle feel as awful as possible. This must be so hard. And it's properly cruel as well. I mean, this gazelle is dead. She's lifeless. Yeah, as you can see here, no pupils in her eyes whatsoever. No indication of life. She's kind of like a husk, just there to represent gazelle's form, I suppose. That was a very good question. It's interesting. I think he's actually instinctively remembering Gazelle, how he sees her, and kind of forgetting about the fact that the maid's there. Yeah, true. Yep. That is a very, very reasonable assumption. Yeah. Yeah, it's a mockery. God, that's awful though. I mean, you can just see how cruel Morgana is, because who would see their lover, even if they have obviously changed so much that they are not, they look like a different person. Well, I mean, obviously the maid is the same person as Gazelle, but she looks very, very different compared to how she did. Yeah, but who would ever doubt it if you've got this right in front of you? I think she definitely does, but she doesn't do so because she's sadistic and wants pain and wants to enjoy it as well. I know you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, and if anything, I mean, at least you actually have a potential chance of stopping all of this, maybe? I don't know. I don't think so, though. I don't think Morgana is going to let them go. No way. Yeah, totally. What's going on? What? Oh god. Could it be some sort of weapon? Hang on a second. Is this a... It is a possible gun. And this is Jacopo here, I'm assuming. How was? But the gun was aimed towards the back of his head and yet he missed. What? How? God, it really is just as if we are in a haunted house at the moment. I like it. Yeah, totally. Fair. Yeah, totally reasonable. But why does he need to die? Where did Gazelle go, I wonder? Or maybe that was just a little... It was as if it was a distraction from... I don't know who would have made the distraction, but it is still a distraction from Jacopo. God, out of all the reasons you could kill somebody, that is the reason. Was that a hallucination then? What was that? That's so unusual. Yeah, it could be an illusion. That's the thing that's ironic about all of these things. You can never tell whether they are hallucinations or illusions. And let's be honest, Morgana is somebody with magic powers, so it wouldn't be surprising. I mean, look at all of this and look at how much it evades the rules of life and death. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if she could make illusions that are that realistic. Yeah, but the only thing is reality is not very kind because you have somebody threatening to gun you, and I don't really understand how he missed, but at the same... I think he did that deliberately. Just so that Michelle would not resist and so that he would feel fear. But isn't it interesting to think about the fact that this illusion is then what causes Jacopo to want to gun him down? And you can properly tell that this illusion has been designed with the intent of making our life more fearful and difficult, and obviously having less of a chance to reach Morgana and Gazelle. Ah yes, I am relieved, but I have a gun in my face. He doesn't. Or is that a lie? Maybe it could be. Yeah, it does, yeah. But they totally denied it. Sorry, Yukimasa denied it. Didn't they? Yeah, so that's the indication. He doesn't directly imply it. Okay. Oh my god, imagine if he takes them. I hope he doesn't. But it's just interesting how properly irritable these spirits are, and I mean, they have, their job is to guard said keys, and yet they really haven't been doing a good job, and you can just totally see how everything is as negative as possible, and you can see, obviously, in reflection of that, a complete lack of morale in all of them. God, Jacopo is such an asshole here. I mean, Yukimasa was one that was... I suppose he's always like that, really, in the sense that he's very, very provoked, and that's what's causing him to be an asshole. Okay, I need to really correct myself. When I talk about this, I'm talking about the Yukimasa after the brain damage. I'm not talking about the one before, because he was just evil all round. And he was very, very two-faced as well. Yeah. Because obviously, oh, in the ship, you're just going to rip off seafarers' fingers for being innocent. Sorry, an innocent seafarer's crimes. Sorry, let me just reword that. So you know somebody's innocent, and yet you are going to rip their fingers off for a crime that you committed, and then you are going to kill them. And you're not even going to feel the slightest bit of remorse. You're just going to do it because you can. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that, to be honest. It really doesn't. Interesting. Rejection or hot lead? God. Yeah, that's interesting. You can't open it without the third key. Is he going to give the key or what? Why does he want to see Morgana? I could make a really bad joke now, but I'm not going to. Sex. No, just kidding. Fuck me. That's what he was gonna say, obviously. Do what? Fuck me? No, I'm just kidding. He's not given the key. It's obviously a mission for sex. Okay, anyway, this is actually quite important. Why? Why is he so intent on seeing Morgana? Is it for release from this, I'd assume, eternal boredom in not the most positive conditions? Or is it something else that's more significant that we don't know about? Oh, so he has the key. Interesting. So he left the key on the ground, I'm assuming. Imagine if these keys don't lead to the lock. Sorry, if these keys don't unlock the door. That would be such a troll. It feels like something Morgana would do, to be honest. But the only thing is, I mean, I would have thought that there'd be significantly more challenge. I thought all of them would put up more resistance. I'm just very, very surprised at how easy it's been. Or maybe there's something that's going to happen that Michelle doesn't know about. Okay. God, I love the colouring on that. It's so well done. They do fit perfectly, I'm surprised. Yeah, I really do wonder what's going to happen. Are they? True. And if I'm going to be honest, even if you were a swordsman and a gun wielder, you would still have... Maybe you would have magic to go up against, which I can't imagine being a very forgiving opponent. Isn't it awful? I mean, he is so desperate for Gazelle that he knows how inferior he is and how much of a lack of ability he might have to make anything work, and yet he still does it. I like that. Interesting, so they first met here. Oh god, what's gonna happen? Oh my god! Holy fuck! This colouring is amazing. I actually love this. They've done this so well. This looks beautiful. Oh, wow. Oh, I know, totally, because the question is, who is up those stairs? Oh my god, Morgana. Interesting. Yeah, so it's interesting that Morgana and Michelle, they have a history, and Michelle has resurrected Morgana for some reason, but at the same time Michelle just doesn't want to know, and he's very disinterested. He's probably really, really suffering the consequences of having done that now. Well, good for him. And this is why. Why would he care about another person so much if he had intense hopelessness? Well, can Morgana have the potential to fall in love as well? Maybe? I mean, I don't really understand who she would fall in love with, but who knows? God. This is a bit morbid, that thought. That's like somebody saying, I don't know, some random criminal just coming up to you and saying, oh, just have £1 million. It's not gonna happen. yeah, there we go. There's the conditions, if you like. Oh god. Who knows just how bad that is going to... or just how bad this is going to be. And Michelle has no idea how much this is going to make his mental state deteriorate and how much of a challenge it's going to be. Be careful with what you say, oh my god. I really do wonder if they're going to be endless here. I know, totally. Just do a BLJ. Well, I mean, you can't really BLJ. It's not a straight line, but still. Yeah, totally reasonable. I know, it really does feel as if it's an endless staircase. It feels so fantastical that it's hard to believe it's real. I know, it's a very good question. I mean, yeah, sure, but blood. To be fair though, he lived in the dark. And I mean, I don't really know how I'd argue the blood smells. But because I mean, the blood smells here, it's as if he's experiencing it for the first time. Maybe he could have been really, really used to it, so he wouldn't have noticed this smell if he was used to it. Yeah, fair enough. She can probably hear Michelle even if he whispers. I don't really think... Oh god, there's nothing worse than when people mock you like this. They're being really awful to you, and yet at the same time they comment on your social ethic. Your social ethic is entirely being influenced on how they are... Well, entirely being influenced as a result of their evil. I think the most impolite thing here is what Morgana is doing. I mean, why can you call somebody impolite when what you have done is shown them a mock-up of their lover who is no longer there? And I say no longer there because obviously that gazelle's not there. The maid has replaced her. Very, very disrespectful to her body and form as well. Yeah, that is reasonable. I mean, but the only thing is, I mean, let's be honest, if you know where you are and you know why this place is different, then surely you could just have peace of mind for knowing where you are. But at the same time, I mean, it's a bit of a risk in the sense that it could cause complete opposite if we actually realise where we were. What is the exact definition of immaterial? Just... Oh, okay, so it means irrelevant. I didn't realise that. Interesting. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah. One question at a time. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, she's not wrong whatsoever. I guess it's unexplainable. What? Are you on something? Yeah, it's not possible. And with the maid as well, she has lived for hundreds of years. If Morgana is a human, then this whole tale is a lie. In my opinion. I mean, yeah, you would have thought so. What about the resurrection, though? How does a human being get resurrected? And how did Michelle get resurrected? And how did the maid live for so long if Morgana is only a human? Well, I mean, to be fair, you don't necessarily have to be a witch or a wizard to have magical powers. Surely you can just be a human with magical powers? But she's kind of alluding to the fact that she might not have any. Interesting. Yeah. That's an interesting point. That's really, really unusual. Because then that gives a lot of questions to Gazelle's story. And if I'm going to be honest, it gives questions to the entirety of the stories that follow as well. But I remember Morgana giving some sort of indication of the fact that everything that we have seen is not true as well, which is very unusual. That is reasonable, yeah. But it's really unusual because you feel as if you were living, you perceive the world like somebody who is living, and yet you were in the realm of the dead. So I suppose it's more your soul rather than you actually being able to live your life, which is so weird. Yeah, I like this explanation, it's nice. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, totally. That's interesting. So the dead is dark, obviously. Dark, dead, really, really abandoned. But then when remembering life, the dead becomes very, very bright as well, and it reflects life. And it's interesting, that contrast. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, even the maid. Yeah. Yeah. So weird. So I would assume that what has actually happened... But I don't know, that's the weirdest thing, because Michelle remembers asking Morgana to protect Gazelle by making it so that the wall is sealed. But at the same time, what happens then is obviously Gazelle listens to Morgana's temptation and then it looks like she's transported to the world of the dead. But that might just be completely false information. It might be a false recollection of the story. It might just be her having been killed in the incident and then being transported to the world of the dead. God, that's so unusual. If I'm going to be honest, I thought this part of the story had potential to really go to shit if it wasn't explained well, but I'm liking what I'm seeing, basically. There's nothing worse than when a story goes supernatural, but it doesn't explain why and how the supernatural works, if you ask me. And if the supernatural is just really, really hard to follow. If you guys have read You and Me and Her, I love the story's idea, but I just find the supernatural element of it so hard to follow. So that was kind of my problem with it. But at the same time, it was still a really good idea. It's just that was my criticism. Stop using words that I don't understand the meaning of. Minutiae. I have no idea how you even pronounce that. Oh, small, precise, trivial details of something. Minutiae? I don't know. Let's actually see.
Minutiae.
Minutiae, okay. That is interesting. So, firstly, what Morgana tries to do is make it so that Well, make it so that Gazelle forgets about Michelle. And now she's trying to do the opposite, which is quite interesting. I wonder why. Dead. Yeah, she's been dead for hundreds of years. But the only thing I don't really understand is the living. Like Michelle said, the memories of the living were very, very vibrant. The maid was in the mansion for that time, and it's just so weird because the maid lives as somebody who is in the world of the dead, in the world of the living. And it's really puzzling. Or we've just been entirely falsely narrated this whole story. I hope that's not the case, but maybe it could be. Well, you're a walking corpse as well. When I said that, I'm talking to Michelle. It's kind of one of those things that you probably instinctively know, but just find it very hard to contemplate. Fair. Spirits live on, but nothing else does. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, totally reasonable. Of course, yeah. Good for him. Fair enough. Well, this is going to be very, very unusual. unusual. What am I looking at? God, this is weird. So I want to just, Blood of the Holy One. How weird. Right, so let's see, just read this a bit more. Yeah, but that is reasonable. But that is interesting. So I suppose in order to understand the nature of this place, you need to understand the person that probably knows the most about it and understand just what she knows as well. But it's interesting that Morgana will tell us. But it's interesting that Morgana wants to tell herself... Sorry, she wants to talk about herself to us. Why? That's interesting. Maybe an indication of persecution? Yeah, so I suppose you're an ordinary human, but at the same time, if we use our labelling tendencies to explain what's happening, then you'll call her a witch. Because obviously, we interpret the world like Michelle does. We kind of try to instinctively explain everything through logic of the world of the living. But there is no world of the living, so we can't. And I suppose if we use logic of the world of the living, then of course somebody like Morgana would seem to appear as a being like a witch. It's so weird. It's actually really cool. But what I just don't really understand is Morgana saying that she was a ghost while Michelle was alive. I just don't understand how she can be somebody who is in the world of the... who exists in the world of the dead, and yet at the same time actually interact with the world of the living. And the same goes for the maid. How could she do it? Well, I mean, she could do it as a result of Morgana. So basically, how could Morgana do it? It's so unusual. Yeah. I like it that it's kind of as if the mansion is dead as well as the people. Kind of, the mansion has no colour now that it's dead, but it used to be teeming with colour and life and sunlight and... I don't know, even mini insects. There's none of that now. And so I suppose it does explain why she is the person who controls it. So that is interesting. It's as if the reality of this story is born from Morgana. But the only thing is, isn't that interesting? Yeah, what reason is there? Sure, but at the same time you believe in her and you feel guilt. And it's interesting, I suppose, even though you were in the world of the dead, you still have the feelings of a person in the living world. I suppose even if this happens, as long as sometimes maybe trying is better, trying and failing is better than not trying. But that is interesting because this is what she said initially. I think it was all leading up to Michelle being able to learn about the nature of this mansion and the nature of what he is up against in order to get Gazelle back. This is going to be really exciting. God, we don't really have a choice. Right, I'm a fucking idiot. So I went to sleep by accident and my AirPods died during that time because I didn't think I was going to be asleep. So, yeah. Only one of my speakers works as well. So, yeah, it's a bit annoying. But anyway, this is going to be really exciting seeing the beginning of Morgana's story. And that's interesting, it melds with Morgana's. I do wonder if by learning about Morgana we're going to learn about Michelle. What is this? Is that a hand? Right. So we already get the impression of, what the fuck? Is that a knife or a sword or something? Whatever it is, this person is reckless enough to grip it by its blade. Weird. That is if it is a knife or sword, but it looks like one. This is a very weird image. And why is it the case that there's just a body? Where's the head of this person? Ah, it's there. It's just really hard to see. This person looks scary, actually. Jesus Christ. Or did she do it because she genuinely believed it? That's weird. So it could be escape from insecurity, this belief that... I don't know, the reinforcing of this belief, maybe? How? What? That's weird. Or do you just have really bad memory loss? Are you traumatized and have something you deliberately aren't remembering or something? That's really odd. Okay, I'll tell you what I'll just do. Hang on a sec. Oh, fuck. Oh. Alright. Okay. Right. There we go. This is weird though, seriously. So it seems like this is a very old and religious tale, and by the way, this could just be entirely by coincidence. But my god, isn't it interesting to think about the fact that this is how you view your mother? That's how you can tell somebody's had a rough life. I just think it's so weird we're learning about Morgana before we learn about Michelle. I hope we do learn about Michelle. But I think by learning about Morgana, we're going to learn about Michelle as well. That's weird. Or could it just be a coincidence, maybe? You can definitely tell she has lived in a very old time. Or perhaps this mother could be a total trickster. Who knows? Also, seeing this VN in NVL mode is so weird. I know, it's weird. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. It could always be a coincidence. That's the thing. Interesting that it's unfortunate for herself, but I suppose the thing is, if you are born with coincidence and obviously everybody believes in the supernatural, then of course you're not going to be treated normally. You're going to be treated like some divine person, whereas you really aren't, and you're never really going to have a chance to express yourself for who you truly are within your life. And people could, I don't know, people could probably go to further extents as well. I know, that's so weird. Yeah. Yeah, I know, yeah. And to be fair, those lies, they definitely work to her favour. If it is a lie. Maybe she's just, I don't know, I kind of get the impression that she's so traumatised by something that maybe she just wants to totally forget about it, and that's how she is doing it, just by pretending that it's never happened. I don't know. But you can just tell how the lack of closeness they have. Yeah. True. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so it must be really interesting if there is an adulterer and he knows, and yet you just have this person proclaiming that, oh, she's a divine person. Yeah, and then there's just one person that knows the answer but can't tell the answer because of their reputation. Yeah. Oh god, does she actually believe? Oh shit. Yeah, that's interesting. To be honest, that belief really turned out well. Oh god, you could. If you were a different type of person, my god, would something like that be bad. Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Well, so is that just meaning a person who's had an affair? Oh, right, okay, so a person falsely claiming to have a special knowledge or skill. Yeah, but that is interesting. When she says her father, she means God. Obviously, she didn't view the bad possibility of her mother being somebody who was, I don't know, had sex with somebody before marriage. Yeah. Because that, in these times, that is probably very, very frowned upon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, you can fake a miracle, even though it would be very difficult to do so. That is fair, and it's a good excuse for not being able to show the proof. But to be fair, I mean, I can see what this person's faith is leading them to believe, because they think God is a being of really high power, so why should one mere human being deserve to see his power in full glory? You know, I see what she's saying. Do you know what I really hate about this text? The fact that this is indented, but then this isn't. It's just really annoying me for some reason. Like, just put this here. Why? I don't know, I just find that annoying. Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, I really do wonder. I mean, she probably lived before we were in the year 1000. Oh God. You are really offering up yourself to something horrible. Oh God. Desperate times, desperate measures, sure. But yeah, this is just something that will open the door to, well, people extracting your blood and torture and pain beyond belief. Yeah. Oh my God, and let me guess. And kiss your feet. Jesus Christ. Of course you wouldn't. That's really unusual. Just a tiny drop of blood as well. But that's really unusual because the question is, again, was it a coincidence? Or was it the case that, sure, she looked really ill, but at the same time, there was, in reality, nothing that much wrong with her in the first place? Yeah, fair enough. Oh my God. Wow. God, you can really tell this is in an old time. So it was originally something that, yeah. So I suppose it was originally something that she felt charitable more than, and I suppose now she's just feeling kind of spoiled in a way. Seriously. think it's understandable. Yeah, reasonable. Yeah, of course. Yep. I mean, I know, you're too young to be able to tell, and I can totally see why, being that young, she would, well, she would just be very impressionable and believe anything around her. I mean, after all, this person is her mother, so surely she should be trusting of her, and I suppose she made the mistake of trusting her. Yeah, very, very unusual. No, it doesn't even matter because people believe. Yeah. Yeah, and they are totally brought about by how it's not just one person, it's how a group perceives the situation, because I suppose the group perceives the situation a certain way, and then people were influenced to think that certain way, and then you just have so many people who think the same way. And obviously it's forced, because if you don't believe, then you're punished. Unless you repent. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. But the only thing is, that is still really weird. She clearly can't have had something serious if just a mere placebo effect will cause her to get better. Like, come on. She was not going to die in the first place. She is a human being. Her blood is just the same as others. Yeah. Yeah, oh my god. Totally. Oh yeah, totally, yeah. Oh god. But that's interesting, because I suppose we have all of this talk about Michelle being somebody who is quote unquote cursed. So I suppose if this is actually the truth, then I suppose it would make sense. And him being called a heretic, I suppose him being perceived by the general population as someone who goes against the belief of said general population, and who does actions that give conclusions against the belief of God. God. This is a horrible thing to live with and to grow up with. It's such a big responsibility. God. Jesus. Yeah, that's rough. Holy shit. She cut herself that much. Fucking hell. Black and red. Fucking hell. That's awful. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. I mean, sure, people will appreciate your sacrifice, but ultimately it's something that is very, very damaging to you. Not only physically, but mentally. I mean, could you imagine just how much pain she must have to keep up the lie? And I just find it really interesting because I suppose what happens is when people believe that they're going to be blessed with some sort of miracle, they have this sense of hope that they wouldn't normally have, and that sense of hope is what drives them to actually achieve success. It's not the fact that they've actually been blessed by a miracle. You could say something ridiculous, and if it gives hope, it has the effect it would. It would have the same effect as a miracle would, I suppose. So when did it all fall apart? That's my question. Because let's be honest, this cannot keep up forever. There's going to be somebody who's going to, I don't know, challenge you. Yep. That is how you can tell people who are totally brainwashed, yeah. Jesus Christ, you're probably not even 10 years old, and yet you're doing shit like this. It's awful. Oh my god, what is this? Because she's kind. Oh god. Oh, this just gets worse every single time. Yep. Oh. Now if money is involved, that's... Oh, that just gives the potential for so many more bad things to happen. True. Money is everything. Not what I was expecting. Oh god, what happened? What do you mean? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, some mother this is. What the fuck? Sure, it must be stressful having a kid who has all of these odd supernatural powers that they're blessed with. But just common human decency, maybe? And the fact that this person is your kid? This person has a horrible mother, Jesus Christ. So you would sell off your own daughter for money just so that you can live a comfortable life. Probably not even thinking about what the daughter's living. Yeah, that sounds awful. Maybe this could be a reference to the 3 men that we saw. Shit. What a bastard. Also, we're in a modern enough time to have a carriage, I'm surprised. Yeah, I don't blame her. Who would not think emotions like these? Yeah, totally reasonable. Really? How? Your mother being a complete failure of a mother, maybe. That is such a brutal, yet obviously, way. It's a brutal way of putting it, but at the same time it reflects reality. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, they had. Isn't it funny? You really just get that culture of people using one, and do they have any true loyalty? No. It's really funny how you can just totally be poisoned by religion and you can just interpret everything with the viewpoint of religion. Hmm. 3 weeks, Jesus Christ. Yeah. What happens when the cargo is delivered? Cargo. The fact that the cargo that is being referred to as a human being. That's interesting. Yeah, totally different place with different conditions. Yeah. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah. Oh, God. Let's hope he speaks the language. Is this the mansion, by the way? I wonder. God. God. Yeah. That's bad. What the fuck? Oh, God. Oh, God, what do you mean by that? Jesus Christ, that's how you know your life is going to be tough. Oh, God. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah, he just needs power, ego. It's honestly surprising. I expected the worst, to be honest. Oh, I think it's quite the opposite. This is awful. My God. How many wounds must this person have now? And by the way, can I just mention, I'm really surprised that Morgana can still remember this story, because surely, like Gazelle, she's lived for hundreds of years. Well, how long she's lived is a bit ambiguous, but she's lived for so long. Yeah, that's understandable. This person sounds properly nasty. I do find it really interesting how Morgana kind of used her religious faith to really change the viewpoint of this other person. But it's interesting that this person just has no possible care. Rather... Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. She's gonna die soon. This person is fucking sick. Can I just mention that? Okay, yeah. I think that's just something that I really need to point out. Yeah, so he's probably just thinking that, well, no, it's just consumerism, but rather than having something that you buy, like an object you buy, it's a person. So, because of the fact that you've made the purchase and you've spent your own money for said person, that's just a way of justifying like such a lack of care about how you treat them, and also just in general, like their emotions. Like he said, you are mine, you have no right to an opinion. This person is, I mean, the sick thing is the fact that this is something normal in society and people had no value for other people, and obviously they were treated really quite awful as slaves. She's gonna die soon. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. You really... Well, yeah. because it would look bad on him. Well, not really look bad, but he wouldn't be able to have, oh, his new toy that he can use as a status symbol. Not caring about how much you're ruining her health, causing her pain. Yeah. Just to think that something like this would have actually been societally acceptable, I think that is the hardest thing to grasp in something like this. Like, in times like these. And to think about the fact that this person isn't even 10. That's the sick thing. Oh my god, yeah, totally, yeah. Yeah. That's what the rich do. They take things that should be for the rich, sorry, for the sick and poor, and just indulge in them. Like, for example, food. I mean, obviously the wealthy should still have food, but I mean, if it was equal, then there would be a lot less poverty. That is only going to be able to last for so long. You're gonna break. And do you have any choice in the matter? Can you escape said matter? No. And that's the most disturbing thing about this. I kind of hate that I'm reading this before I'm going to bed, because I've got really quite vivid images in my head. Oh, God is a bit of a psychopath. No, you're stuck here until you die. Let's be honest here. Or until you get a thing called, oh, I don't know, sepsis maybe? Yeah, and it's interesting, I suppose. She's gone from a position of somebody who is the highest up in society to somebody who is just the lowest to be used by another person, and obviously with no emotions taken into account. But to be fair, let's be honest, that's been a theme of everything within Morgana's tale so far. I mean, just such a lack of room for her actual emotions. It must be horrible as well. I'd assume she had very little friends growing up. Yeah, fucking kill the Lord. I don't blame her. I mean, to think about the fact that she is so young as well. Jesus Christ. Alright, so Sabbath is a day of the week which is set for religious traditions within the week, just one day. Oh. This is the horrible thing. I just think in a situation like this, suicide would be better than living. Oh God. Oh God. I'm surprised. Where do you get that from? Isn't that a bit ridiculous? Jesus Christ. To think that it can even get worse than this. Yeah, what was in store for you now? That is a very good question. Yeah, fair enough. Jesus Christ. God. Oh my god, yeah, very similar to Morgana, yeah. Fair enough. And he is experiencing what Morgana has experienced. It is sickening. Yeah, why does Morgana have to feel the need to make this happen? God. No. God, yeah, that must be painful. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I did actually. I was under... Oh, Jesus Christ. I was under the impression that the Lord was just going to slice her like a fucking axe of a coconut. Just clean in two. Or something like that. Clean, he just said. Jesus, to think of the fact that there is more. Yeah, he is. Who would not be? Even if you've suffered worse, which, let's be honest, not many people have, you would be afraid. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that interesting? You don't know. Repulsive, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's still called Blood of the Holy One. Well, I'm gonna stop reading that. Holy fucking shit. Yeah. When Morgana said we are going to have to endure a lot, I can definitely see what she means, and will she have so much determination for Gazelle that she is going to be able to go through these tales without losing her mind? That is a good question. And I've got no idea about what the answer would be, but I don't know if it will be possible, to be honest. I really don't. Yeah. Properly brutal story. Interesting, but brutal, and obviously showing just the disgusting side of humanity. And people who think they are very, very powerful as a result of their wealth as well. Yeah. I do wonder how it's going to end. I mean, I think obviously Morgana is somebody who is very, very cruel. So, I suppose her tale needs to be painful enough that enough cruelty is in her life, so she feels like this enough. Yeah. I just don't think there's enough at the moment, but I think there definitely will be by the time we finish this next part of the story. Yeah, and I do wonder how it's going to end. Something gives me the impression that it's not going to end very quickly. Yeah. So I do wonder how old Morgana actually lives until. And I do wonder what she looks like, because in that CG where she took Gazelle away, she did not look around 9 or 10. She looked a lot older. I've actually got the thumbnail of it still. Oh, no, I've only got it faintly done, but I remember her looking a lot older than 9 or 10, so just how long is she going to have to live? Let's be honest, she's not living for long. I mean, my god, that must be horrible, just being so drained of blood and having such a lack of consciousness as a result. And also, let's be honest, when is that blood going to get infected as well? That could get infected and then she could get nasty wounds as a result of that. Obviously, no people who are making her, who are cutting her care about this, of course, because what? Oh yeah, human rights? Yeah, what are they? Well, I mean, let's be honest. I think in these times they did not have concepts of human rights, but yeah. I mean, that was rough, but it was really interesting. I just love the background of the endless staircase so much. Well, when I say endless staircase, I mean the one in this. Not the one in Mario 64. No. Just can't stop thinking about that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.